When people talk about my football career, they see the goals, the trophies, the fame. But my career is not just numbers. It is not just records. It is a journey full of challenges, sacrifices, belief, consistency, and legacy. I want to tell you the truth about what my career really means, not only to me, but to everyone who dreams of becoming great. My career started in Madeira, a small island in Portugal, where I was just a boy with a big dream. I didn't have much, but I had the ball at my feet and the hunger in my heart. That hunger was the fuel that took me from the streets of Madeira to Sporting Lisbon, and from there to the biggest stages in the world. My journey proves that it does not matter where you come from, it matters how much you want it. Many people doubted me, many people said I was too skinny, too emotional, not ready for the top. But inside me there was a fire that no one could put out. That fire made me chase improvement every single day. The first truth of my career is discipline. Discipline is everything. Without discipline, talent is wasted. People think I was born special, but what they don't see are the hours of training, the sacrifices of food, sleep, and comfort, the moments when I pushed my body to the limit. Discipline means waking up before anyone else, training longer than anyone else, and never being satisfied. Even when I won my first trophies, my mind was not celebrating. My mind was thinking about the next challenge. Discipline made me who I am. It shaped every step of my career. When I was at Manchester United, I learned that talent alone is not enough. Discipline is what separates good players from great players, and great players from legends. The second truth of my career is sacrifice. Everything comes with a price, and I was always ready to pay it. When I left my family in Madeira at 12 years old to join Sporting, I cried every night. I missed my home, my mother, my father, but I knew I had to sacrifice comfort for the dream. Sacrifice means saying no when everyone else is saying yes. While friends were going out, I was training. While others were celebrating, I was preparing. My father was not there to see most of my success, and that pain became fuel. Sacrifice hurts, but it builds strength. Every medal I have, every trophy I lift, is not just mine. It belongs to my family and everyone who supported me when I gave up everything for this career. The third truth of my career is belief. Belief is power. I always believed in myself, even when nobody else did. Belief is not arrogance, it is confidence born from hard work. When I stepped onto the pitch, I didn't just hope to score, I believed I would. That belief pushed me through injuries, through criticism, through failures. At Real Madrid, when people said it was impossible to win 3 Champions League titles in a row, I believed we could. At Euro 2016, when Portugal was not the favorite, I believed we could lift the trophy, and we did. Belief is what turns dreams into reality. Belief is what keeps you moving when the world says stop. My career is built on that power of belief. The fourth truth of my career is consistency. Consistency is the secret. It is easy to shine for 1 game, 1 season, maybe 2. But to shine for 20 years, to stay at the top, to always deliver, that is not luck, that is consistency. My career is proof that consistency makes you unstoppable. People always asked me, Cristiano, how do you stay hungry after winning everything? The answer is simple. I never see success as finished. Every day is a chance to improve. Every training session is a chance to get better. Every match is a chance to show the world who I am. Consistency is why I scored hundreds of goals, why I broke records, why I kept playing at the highest level even when others slowed down. My consistency is not because I am special, but because I never stopped working, never stopped pushing, never stopped demanding more from myself. The fifth truth of my career is legacy. Fame is temporary, but legacy lasts forever. My career is not just about me, it is about inspiring the next generation. I want kids who see me to believe in themselves, to dream big, to know that nothing is impossible. Legacy is why I play with so much passion, why I push myself even when I have nothing left to prove. Legacy is bigger than goals, bigger than trophies, bigger than headlines. Legacy is about the impact you leave behind. I don't just want people to say Cristiano Ronaldo was a great player. I want them to say Cristiano Ronaldo showed the world what is possible with discipline, sacrifice, belief, and consistency. When I look back on my career, I don't just see the goals, the Ballon d'Ors, the Champions League nights, or the trophies with Portugal. I see the boy who left Madeira with nothing but a dream. I see the teenager who cried alone in Lisbon but refused to quit. I see the young man who trained harder than everyone else at Manchester United. I see the warrior who broke records at Real Madrid. I see the leader who carried his nation to European glory. And I see the man who never stopped, who never gave up, who never lost the hunger. The reality of my football career is this: nothing came easy, everything was earned. Every success was built with pain, sweat, and sacrifice. Every victory was fueled by discipline, belief, and consistency. And every step of the way, I carried the dream of leaving a legacy that will inspire forever. My career is not just football, it is a message to the world. The message is clear: if I can do it, you can do it too. So, when you think of Cristiano Ronaldo, don't just think of the goals or the trophies. Think of the discipline that never broke, the sacrifices that hurt but built strength, the belief that never died, the consistency that lasted decades, and the legacy that will live on. That is the true reality of my football career. It is not about being famous, it is about being remembered. It is not about what I got, it is about what I gave, and I gave everything. People see my career today, and they see the goals, the victories, the fame, the success. But they do not always see the price I paid for this life. And the truth is very simple. Success has a price, and that price is sacrifice. Nothing comes for free. If you want to be great, you must give up many things that others are not willing to give up. My life, my career, everything I achieved, it is built on sacrifices that shaped me into the man and the player I became. I was just a young boy from Madeira, a small island far away from the big football world. At the age of 12, I had to leave my family, my friends, my home, everything I knew. I remember crying at night in the academy at Lisbon because I missed my mother. I missed my father, I missed my island. I was a child, but I had to grow up fast. That was the first big sacrifice of my career. People think it was easy because they see the superstar now, but at that time it was the most painful decision. But I knew if I stayed comfortable, I would never grow. Sacrifice means leaving comfort to chase the dream. Sacrifice is also about lifestyle. When I was young, many of my teammates would go out, party, enjoy their youth. I didn't. While they were celebrating, I was training. While they were sleeping, I was working. When you sacrifice fun today, you build success tomorrow. I always believed that my body was my tool, my weapon, my profession. That meant I could not abuse it with alcohol, with late nights, with unhealthy food. I sacrificed all of that because my focus was on becoming the best. Many people want success, but they also want comfort. You cannot have both. You must choose, and I chose sacrifice. Sacrifice also means pushing your body beyond its limits. There were days I trained until my muscles were burning, until I could barely walk. There were mornings when I woke up sore, tired, exhausted, but I still pushed. My friends and family would sometimes tell me to rest, but my mind was not wired that way. I knew every extra hour, every extra drill, every extra sprint was a step closer to my dream. Sacrifice is not only about what you give up outside the pitch, but also about the pain you accept inside the pitch. It is about choosing discomfort again and again until it becomes normal. When I moved to Manchester United, I was far from home again. A new country, new culture, new language. I had to sacrifice the comfort of Portugal, the warmth of my island, for the cold nights in England. But those sacrifices gave me discipline, they gave me strength. I was young, surrounded by older, stronger players. To survive, I had to be more focused, more determined, more willing to give up the easy things. Sacrifice is not glamorous. Sacrifice is lonely, painful, and sometimes heartbreaking, but it makes you stronger than you ever imagined. People sometimes ask me, Cristiano, was it worth it? And my answer is always yes, because every sacrifice I made gave me something greater in return. When I sacrificed time with my family, I gained a career that made them proud. When I sacrificed nights out, I gained nights lifting trophies. When I sacrificed comfort, I gained greatness. Sacrifice is not about losing, it is about choosing. Choosing the harder path that leads to the bigger reward. Even in my personal life, I sacrificed a lot. I sacrificed privacy, I sacrificed freedom, I sacrificed a normal life. Fame is not easy, success is not easy. Everything you do is under the spotlight, everything is judged. Sometimes I wish I could just walk in the street, sit in a cafe, and be invisible. But I sacrificed that when I chose to chase my dream to the fullest. It is the price you pay. You cannot be the best and live a normal life. You cannot have both. When I played for Real Madrid, the sacrifices were even greater. People think it was just glory, but behind the scenes, it was daily sacrifices. Training harder than everyone else, staying behind after practice, obsessing over every detail, diet, sleep, recovery. While others were satisfied, I was not. I sacrificed comfort because I was chasing perfection. Every record I broke, every title I won, it was built on sacrifices nobody saw. The lonely hours in the gym, the strict meals, the recovery sessions when my body was broken, all of it was a price I gladly paid. When people talk about my career, they speak about the goals, the trophies, the Ballon d'Ors, the records. They speak about the fame, the headlines, the followers. But let me tell you something very important. Fame is not success. Fame is temporary. Fame fades when the lights go off. But legacy is forever. Legacy is greater than fame. Legacy is what remains when the spotlight moves to someone else. Legacy is the story you leave behind, the impact you create, the inspiration you give to others. Fame can make you popular, but legacy makes you immortal. When I was a young boy in Madeira, I didn't dream about fame. I didn't dream about followers or headlines. I dreamed about being remembered. I dreamed about writing my name in football history. Fame comes automatically when you succeed, but fame is only noise. Legacy is the music that never dies. My motivation was never to be famous. It was to be great, to be remembered as someone who gave everything, someone who inspired, someone who changed the game. You see, fame is about what you take. Legacy is about what you give. Fame is about attention. Legacy is about impact. When I look back at my career, I don't smile only because of the goals or trophies. I smile because I inspired millions of kids to believe in themselves, to dream, to work hard. That is legacy. When people tell me, Cristiano, because of you I never gave up, that means more than any headline. Headlines disappear tomorrow, but impact lives forever. Fame can be dangerous. Fame can make you forget who you are. Fame can make you comfortable, make you lazy, make you blind to what really matters. Many players became famous, but they disappeared quickly because they chased attention instead of legacy. I never chased fame, I chased excellence, I chased greatness, and because of that, the fame followed. But I always reminded myself, don't play for attention, play for history. Legacy is not built in one game, one season, or one trophy. Legacy is built over decades of consistency, sacrifice, belief, and discipline. Legacy is built by how you carry yourself, by the example you set, by the respect you give to the game, to your teammates, to your opponents, and to the fans. Legacy is not about how loud people cheer when you score, but about how they remember you when you are gone from the pitch. At Real Madrid, I became the all-time top scorer. That record will one day be broken. At Portugal, I became the all-time leading international scorer. That too may one day be broken. Records are not legacy. Records are numbers. Legacy is how people felt watching you, how you inspired them to stand, to cheer, to dream. Legacy is when a child wears your shirt not only because of goals, but because of the values you represent: hard work, determination, resilience, courage. Legacy is also about lifting others. At Euro 2016, when I was injured in the final, I could not play. Fame would have told me to sit and hide, but legacy pushed me to lead from the sidelines, to inspire my teammates, to give everything I had with my voice, my energy, my belief. And we made history. That moment showed me something important. Your legacy is not only about what you achieve personally, but also about what you help others achieve. Fame will one day end, the cameras will stop following, the stadiums will stop chanting your name. But legacy continues because it lives in hearts, in memories, in history books. That is why I always said, I don't want to be remembered just as a great player, but as a great example. Not just as someone who scored goals, but as someone who showed the world what discipline, sacrifice, belief, and consistency can do. Legacy also means responsibility. When millions of eyes are watching you, when children look up to you, you must carry yourself with respect. You cannot say, I don't care. You must care because you are shaping dreams. That responsibility is heavy, but it is also beautiful. It pushes you to be better, not just for yourself, but for others. Fame makes you a celebrity. Legacy makes you a role model. And I always chose legacy. Even now, playing in Saudi Arabia, people ask, Cristiano, why do you still push so hard? You have nothing left to prove, but they don't understand. It is not about proving, it is about leaving a legacy. It is about showing that you can be relentless even at 38, 39, 40. It is about inspiring the next generation that age is only a number, that limits exist only in the mind. That is legacy. One day my career will end, the goals will stop, the training sessions will stop, the trophies will stop. But what will remain is how I made people feel. Did I inspire them? Did I show them what was possible? Did I prove that with hard work, dreams can come true? That is what matters. That is what I want people to remember. That is why I say, legacy is greater than fame. I want every young player, every dreamer, to understand this. Don't chase attention, don't play for likes, for headlines, for noise. Play for history, play for impact. Play to leave something behind that will outlive you. Fame is like smoke, it disappears. Legacy is like stone, it stands forever. My life has given me both fame and legacy, but if you ask me to choose, I would choose legacy every time. Because fame may make you known, but legacy makes you remembered. And at the end of the day, we are not remembered by how many people watched us, but by how many people we touched, how many lives we changed, how much hope we gave. So when I look back at my career, I don't only see records. I see a boy from Madeira who dreamed, who believed, who worked, who sacrificed, who stayed consistent, and who built a legacy that will inspire even after he is gone. And that is the true meaning of success. Legacy is greater than fame. Legacy is forever. Sacrifice also comes with loss. My father passed away before he could see most of my success. That pain never leaves me, but even in that pain, I sacrificed self, pity. I did not allow myself to collapse. I used the pain as fuel. Many people use tragedy as an excuse to stop. I used it as a reason to keep going. Sacrifice is sometimes about giving up the comfort of excuses. It is about refusing to let pain destroy you, and instead letting it drive you. Throughout my career, I learned that the more you sacrifice, the more you grow. Sacrifice is not something to fear. It is something to embrace. It is the test that separates those who dream from those who achieve. Many players had talent like me, maybe even more talent, but they were not willing to sacrifice like me. That is why they stopped, and I kept going. Talent is a gift, but sacrifice is a choice, and the choice you make decides your future. When I won the Champions League, when I lifted the European Cup with Portugal, when I broke records across Europe, people saw the glory. But I always saw the sacrifices that built those moments. The nights I cried as a boy, the parties I missed, the comforts I gave up, the endless hours of training, the price I paid. And every time I look at my medals, I don't just see trophies. I see the sacrifices that made them possible. If you want success, you must understand this truth. Success will not come without sacrifice. You cannot have the easy life and the great life at the same time. You cannot have comfort and greatness together. You must choose one. And if you choose sacrifice, if you pay the price, the reward will be beyond anything you can imagine. This is the reality of my career. Not just goals, not just fame, not just money. The true reality is sacrifice. Sacrifice is the bridge between who I was and who I became. Sacrifice is the price of greatness, and I paid it every single day. It fills her with life. Cristiano, what is the most important thing that carried you through all the challenges of your career? And my answer is simple: belief. Belief is power. Without belief, you are already defeated before the game even begins. Belief is what allows you to dream when others laugh at you. Belief is what gives you strength when your body is tired and your mind is weak. Belief is what turns impossible into possible. In my career, belief has been the invisible force behind everything I achieved. When I was a boy in Madeira, nobody thought a kid from a small island could conquer the world of football. People said he's too skinny, he's too emotional, he's too far from the big stage. But I believed. I believed that one day I would play in the greatest stadiums. I believed I would face the best players. I believed I could be the best. My belief was so strong that it silenced all doubts around me. That is the first lesson. Before the world believes in you, you must believe in yourself. Belief is not arrogance. Belief is not about thinking you are better than everyone without work. Belief is about trusting your process, your sacrifice, your discipline. Many times in my career, I was doubted. People said I couldn't make it at Manchester United. They said I would fail at Real Madrid. They said I was finished at Juventus. And now they say I am too old at Al Nassr. But every time I proved them wrong. Not because I listened to them, but because I listened to myself. That is the power of belief. It blocks out the noise and keeps you focused on the truth inside you. When I arrived in Manchester as a teenager, I was surrounded by giants, strong, experienced players. At first, I was mocked for my tricks, my style. Some people thought I was only a showman, not a real footballer. But I believed I could adapt. I believed I could transform myself. That belief gave me the courage to face the criticism and the strength to train harder than everyone else. Belief gave me the resilience to turn weaknesses into weapons. Belief also means confidence in the hardest moments. I have stepped up to take penalties in finals. I have taken free kicks when the whole world was watching. Do you think it was easy? Do you think I never felt pressure? Of course I did. But belief silences fear. Belief tells you you worked for this, you are ready for this, you deserve this. That voice inside, powered by belief, is louder than the doubts. And that is why I was able to score, to deliver, to shine in the biggest games. Belief is not just about football, it is about life. When my father passed away, I was broken. I could have lost my way, I could have given up, but belief carried me through. Belief that my father was watching me, belief that I had a purpose, belief that I could turn my pain into fuel. That belief gave me strength when I thought I had none left. Without belief, I would have collapsed. With belief, I kept going. People sometimes confuse belief with luck. They say Cristiano is lucky, but no. Belief is not luck. Belief is created by hard work. The more you prepare, the stronger your belief becomes. Because belief without preparation is just a dream, but belief with preparation is unbreakable. Every extra hour of training, every moment of sacrifice, every detail of discipline, all of that built my belief. So when I walked onto the pitch, I was not hoping, I was knowing. I believed because I earned the right to believe. Belief also inspires others. When I wore the captain's armband for Portugal, I knew I was not just playing for myself. I was playing for my country. My belief gave my teammates belief. When we won Euro 2016, it was not just talent that won us the trophy. It was belief. Even when I had to leave the final injured, I stood on the sidelines shouting, pushing, believing with my whole heart. And that belief spread to the team. That night we made history, not because we were the most talented, but because we believed the most. Throughout my career, I faced many critics. People said I could not last long. They said I would decline quickly. But belief gave me longevity. I am still here, still playing at the highest level, because I never stopped believing that I could improve, that I could push further, that I could stay sharp. Age is just a number when your belief is bigger than your excuses. Belief is also about vision. I always had a clear vision of who I wanted to be. I didn't just want to be a footballer. I wanted to be the best footballer. I didn't just want to play in the Champions League. I wanted to win it multiple times. I didn't just want to play for my country. I wanted to win trophies with my country. That vision gave direction to my belief. Belief without vision is lost, but belief with vision becomes unstoppable. I want everyone listening to understand this. Belief is inside you. Nobody can give it to you and nobody can take it away. People will doubt you, laugh at you, criticize you, even try to stop you. But if you keep your belief alive, you will always rise. Belief is the power that makes you get up after falling. Belief is the power that makes you try again after failing. Belief is the power that makes you see light even in the darkest moments. My career is the proof of belief, from Madeira to Manchester, from Manchester to Madrid, from Madrid to Turin, from Turin to Saudi Arabia. Everywhere I went, belief carried me. Belief that I could adapt, belief that I could win, belief that I could inspire. That belief gave me strength to turn dreams into reality, and reality into history. So when people ask me, Cristiano, what is the secret? I tell them, the secret is not a secret. The power is belief. Believe in yourself when nobody else does. Believe in your dream when it feels impossible. Believe in your path when it is hard, because belief is power, and with that power, you can achieve anything. People see the goals, they see the trophies, they see the moments of glory, but they often ask me, Cristiano, how did you do it again and again, year after year? And the answer is one word, consistency. Consistency is the secret. Talent gives you moments, discipline gives you progress. But consistency gives you greatness. Without consistency, you can never truly be at the top. Consistency is waking up every day and giving your best. Not sometimes, not when you feel like it, but always. From the first day I touched a ball as a child in Madeira until today, decades later, one thing has never changed: my hunger. Hunger to improve, hunger to score, hunger to win. That hunger is what fuels consistency. Because the truth is, motivation comes and goes. Some days you wake up tired. Some days you don't feel inspired. Some days your body is heavy. But consistency means you show up anyway. You don't wait for perfect feelings. You create perfect habits. Consistency is not glamorous. It is not the highlight you see on television. Consistency is the extra hours in the gym when nobody is watching. Consistency is choosing the right food when you could eat anything. Consistency is stretching, recovering, doing the small things over and over again. People think greatness is built on big moments, but greatness is built on small decisions repeated every day. I am not the player I am because of one match or one season. I am the player I am because I repeated the work every single year, without stopping. At Manchester United, I was young and hungry. I trained hard, I listened, I improved. But when I went to Real Madrid, I understood that consistency was the only way to stay at the top. At that club, every game was a final. Every season was about winning titles. To survive there, you cannot shine only sometimes. You must shine always. That means scoring not just in one big game, but in every game. That means training with the same fire after winning a Champions League as you did after losing one. That means never letting your standards drop, not even for a single day. Consistency is not about being perfect. It is about never stopping. I have missed penalties. I have lost finals. I have failed in matches. But I never let failure stop me. I kept going. I kept repeating. I kept trusting the process. That is consistency. To keep believing, to keep working, even when things don't go your way. Many players fail once and they stop. I failed, but I used failure as fuel. That is why I kept rising again and again. Consistency is also mental. It is about discipline of the mind. It is easy to be distracted by fame, by money, by comfort. When you achieve success, the temptation is to relax. But consistency means you never relax. You never let success blind you. I always told myself, Cristiano, yesterday's success is finished. Today you must prove yourself again. That mentality kept me sharp. Every training session, every game, every season, the pressure was always there, because I created it. That is consistency. When people look at my records, the Champions League goals, the international goals, the Ballon d'Ors, they see numbers. But behind those numbers is consistency. Scoring in the Champions League for more than 10 consecutive seasons is not luck. It is not talent alone, it is consistency. It is preparing the same way for every game, no matter if it is a final or the first round. It is respecting every opponent, big or small. It is giving the same effort in training as in matches. Consistency means you respect the game always. Consistency also requires sacrifice. To repeat greatness year after year, you must sacrifice comfort year after year. While others were celebrating one good season, I was preparing for the next one. While others took long breaks, I kept training. That is why I stayed at the top for nearly 2 decades. Consistency demands you to love the boring part. Because the truth is, repetition can feel boring, but if you embrace the boring, the results become exciting. At Juventus, many thought I was finished, but I proved again that consistency never dies. I scored goals, I broke records, I delivered. Why? Because my habits were the same. I never stopped taking care of my body. I never stopped training. I never stopped believing. Consistency gave me longevity. At an age when most players retire, I was still competing at the top level. That is the gift of consistency. It makes you timeless. Even now, in Saudi Arabia, people ask why I still push, why I still play with intensity. The answer is the same. Consistency, because consistency is not only for when the world is watching. Consistency is a way of life. If I lower my standards now, I am not Cristiano anymore. Consistency means keeping your standards high, always, until the very end. It is about respecting yourself, your career, your fans, and the game. I want you to understand something important. Consistency is not talent, consistency is choice. Every day you decide, do I give my best or do I take it easy? Do I repeat my habits or do I break them? Those small choices, added up over years, decide who you become. You don't need to be the most talented. If you are consistent, you will beat talent that is lazy. That is the secret. Hard work, repeated daily, beats natural talent that works only sometimes. Consistency also builds belief in others. Coaches trusted me because they knew what to expect. Teammates relied on me because they knew I would deliver. Fans believed in me because they knew I never gave up. That trust was not built in one match. It was built over years of consistency. When people can count on you, when you show up always, you become not just a player, but a leader. I know many people dream of success. They dream of fame, of money, of trophies. But dreams without consistency are nothing. If you want to achieve greatness, you must show up every day. Not just when you feel motivated, not just when life is easy, but always. That is what separates the champions from the rest. My career is proof. I am not here because of one great season. I am here because I made every season great. Not because I played one good match, but because I played thousands with the same hunger. Not because I worked hard once, but because I worked hard every day. That is the secret, consistency. So when you ask me, Cristiano, how did you last this long? How did you achieve so much? The answer will always be this: I was consistent. I showed up every day. I repeated the work every day. I respected the process every day. And if you want greatness in your life, that is the path. No shortcuts, no excuses, no magic, just consistency.